Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a pitch pot. So what we'll need is your block of clay, your sponge and water, your knife tool and your cutting wire. And so the size of clay that we start with will be roughly the size of a small deck of cards to a matchbox. So I'll wrap the wire around my fingers, make sure that it's nice and tense, support it at the back with my thumb, like so, and just pull towards me. There, we've got a nice chunk of clay, but the shape that we want to start with is a sort of ball shape. So what we're going to do is, with this part of our hand, whack around the edges and corners, giving it a nice whack, awkward shape now. We want it to be a nice ball shape, somewhere in between a tennis ball and a golf ball. So once it's a nice shape, you can roll it in your hands to a nice sphere, or roll it on the table. Any way that you get it is fine. And so we'll begin by just making a little well with our thumb in the center of the ball. So supporting it with your fingers in your other hand, just press down in the center, using both hands to rotate the ball. Just press and turn until you make a nice well in the center of your clay. And so when the well is about half a thumb wide and half a thumb deep, then we can start bringing up our walls. And so to do this, we're going to be using our thumb and fingers, supporting it with this hand, and with the thumb in the center, just squeeze the sides of the clay. So squeezing and rotating all the way around, bringing up our walls, squeezing and rotating. All the way around till it's about the width of your little finger. So now mine's about that width. I'm going to start to work on the base of my bowl. So I'm going to plop it down on the table, and using this flat part between my knuckles of my forefinger, I'm just going to press into the bottom of the bowl, rotating it as I go, and just pressing down, thinning out the base, with my knuckle towards the edge where the wall starts, just pressing down. So now we've got a bit more of a base to our bowl, and then we're going to start, or continue really, pressing out the walls. So again, starting from the base, we're going to just press all the way up, rotate, press up, or pinch up, all the way around. And so the width of the walls will be that of, say, in between pinky nail to half a pinky nail. If it's any thinner than that, then you risk the walls tearing, and we don't want that. So we're just rotating and pinching, not too thin, all the way around. And then again, I can feel that the base of my bowl is a bit thicker. So I'm going to plop it down on the table again, using the flat part of my finger. I'm just going to press around it, letting my knuckle hit the beginning of the wall. Just pressing around, thinning out that base so it's around the same thickness as the walls. Alrighty, and now I'm going to do the same thing where I pinch up from the bottom, making my walls a little bit thinner even more. Starting from the edge all the way up to the top. You don't want that rim to be too thick either, so make sure you give that a nice pinch as well. So you can do this whilst it's on the table as well if you'd like. So just rotating and pinching up. Now I'm using both hands, so it's the same deal, with your thumb in the inside, fingers on the outside, just pinching up. Alright, and here I've got my nice bowl shape. But you may notice in yours as well as mine, there are some slight cracks around the rim of the bowl, and so this is a really easy fix. This is why we have our sponge tool. So squeeze all the water out of that, and just gently wipe over the rim of your bowl. And if you see cracks around the sides, you can wipe around the sides as well. Just giving that a nice wipe, clearing it of all the blemishes. And then I like to just wet my finger, sort of wipe off the excess water on my other hand. Just give it a nice smooth over, getting rid of all those little nasty cracks and smoothing out the vessel. Now at this point I'll also feel if there's anywhere that's a bit thicker, and I'll give that a little pinch. For instance, I'm going to just pinch up these rims a little bit more, smoothing over, taking some of that water again, smoothing over the base. Alrighty. And now the reason that we have our knife tool is if you'd like your bowl to be the same height all the way around, then take your tool and just trim off the bumpy tops like so. And on the other side, trimming around there. There we go. And then again, with our sponge tool, getting rid of all the excess water. And what we're going to do now to smooth those edges is you just press it around where the ridges are, smooth that out all the way around. And then I'm going to give it one last pinch. My hands are still a bit wet, which is good. So just at those little crease areas, just pinch around there, get rid of that bit. Pinch, 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 all the way around the edge. And I'll plop it back down, finish smoothing it out, and there you have a nice pinched bowl. And so this method of making a well and pinching out from there can really be used on any size piece of clay. I mean, I've made anything from a tiny little pinch pot to a rather large serving dish, and so sky's your limit in that sense. But I hope you have fun and happy claying.